everyone, and welcome back. We're back again. Storm here.
I'm here.
Kimmy here.
We are very excited to be watching 12 Years a Slave today because this has been requested for quite some time now. Now being Black History Month, I thought it would be a great opportunity to choose this movie. It has a lot of famous people in it that we do know. Brad Pitt is in it, and a whole list of names. We're like, oh my God, we know. Sometimes we don't know the names right away because like we've seen their faces but don't always remember their names. Mm-hmm. So we know Michael Fassbender, who was an X-Men. We know Chiwetel Ejiofor, Michael Fassbender. And then we saw Benedict Cumberbatch. I was like, okay, so all these guys are coming together because all Marvel Universe people.
Yeah, and they work together in Doctor Strange.
We know this guy too. He looks so familiar. Paul Franklin Dano. And then Paul Giamatti, we've seen him. I've seen him in a movie you guys have not seen. Maybe we'll watch Lady in the Water. And then we know her from Black Panther. Yes.
Black Panther.
She's beautiful.
Black Panther.
I'm really sad about Black Panther with him passing. I hear rumors that she might be taking up the role as the next Black Panther. But I love her. She's a great actress. Yeah, so I don't know how legit that is, but that's a rumor going on right now that I've heard. Sarah Paulson, she looks really familiar. And I think she was in an American Horror Story a long time ago. I don't know if the series is still going. I saw a few episodes of the first season. And it was so freaky. It was so scary. You guys would be so freaked out. But good actress. Brad Pitt. And he directed this, so that's pretty amazing as well. There's a lot of directors, I think, or producers. Yeah. Pretty amazing. And this is based on a true story.
Oh, and Alfie Woodard.
Yes. Oh, Alfie Woodard, yeah. We know her as, I keep saying Mother Mabel, but we know her as Mariah.
She's just like
from Luke Cage. So I love how we recognize a lot of people in this. That's pretty darn cool.
Wow.
So going to Amazon, because we're going to be watching on Amazon today for those who are watching our full reaction. And thank you for that and your support, because that helps us keep creating. Director Steve McQueen's powerful film based on the true story of a man kidnapped and sold into slavery features an all-star cast including Chiwetel Ejiofor and Michael Fassbender.
Oh, he's making a pen.
Yeah.
Oh, with the raspberry juice.
Uh-huh.
So this is his previous life.
Oh, here's the musician.
With kids.
Yeah, the kids are musically inclined.
That's right.
I have two gentlemen whose acquaintance you should make, Messrs. Brown and Hamilton. Sir?
Oh, he's... So they drugged him.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
They freaking drugged him. I knew we couldn't trust them.
Yeah, they don't could trust them.
Taking away someone's freedom like that, like you have the power to do that.
Oh, jeez.
Well, boy, how you feel now?
Oh, you scumpy. Oh, you're scummy.
They're gonna pat him.
Oh. No.
Oh, God, his back?
What the hell's wrong with him? Oh, you was...
Oh, breaking it
my
on him.
God, what the hell? Oh, my God.
Oh, my.
What the hell's a...
Come on. You're going to kill the guy, dude.
Sick. This poor mother, just everyone, but the mother and her kids.
Oh, my God.
Ew.
Ew,
he is.
Oh, come on.
Oh, he's going to defend her.
He already stabbed him.
Oh, you son of a
He killed
bitch.
him?
Open wider. Look in there. Never been sick a day in his life.
Do not divide my family. Do not take me unless you take my children.
Liza, quiet!
You will have the most space. I beg that you please
Separate them.
Please.
Oh, perfect, Liza.
God.
Oh, wow.
No, nothing. Don't separate me.
Oh.
Your children will soon be forgotten.
I'm forgotten.
Yeah. Try doing that to your family.
The God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob.
Yeah, right.
They'd
Back
be
to
religious.
the Bible.
And when the multitude heard
Boo,
this, they
Dr.
were
Strange.
astonished at his doctrine.
My great thanks, Master Ford.
I hope it brings us both much joy over the years.
Oh, he's actually going to give it to him. I thought he wanted him to play.
I can just see the master breaking it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
The other guy, yeah.
Solomon!
Well, they're taking her.
No, what are they going to do to her now?
I don't know. Are they gonna rape her
What
or
the heck
kill
are they
her?
gonna do?
Because she keeps crying.
She
like
keeps
she's not...
weeping.
Yeah, maybe they're gonna.
If there's something wrong, it's wrong with the instruction.
Oh,
He's right,
yeah.
but don't say
He's
that.
gonna be fighting now. He's gonna. Now he's gonna.
Oh, he's fighting.
He's fighting back.
Oh no, no. Ooh.
Wow, I'm so happy about this, but I'm so terrified for
He's
someone.
gonna really get it now. Oh crap.
Oh, watch out here. No, what the heck are they going?
Oh, they're hanging up.
Oh my God, how freaking sick can you be? Oh, poor guy. Oh,
Whoever moves that nigger's a dead man.
You touch.
Oh,
God, he's still hanging there. Like, can you help him?
my God, yes. Yeah.
And he walks away?
He walks away? What the hell is he doing?
Oh, to do that this whole time?
Yeah,
How
come
long?
on, the poor, come on.
holy.
Oh, the poor guy.
To be told for his life.
Oh, it's big risk, but good.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be hard to swallow.
150 lashes.
Wow.
That's scripture.
Scripture.
My God, yeah, right.
Oh, they're just getting whipped. They are.
Oh God.
Right in front of them.
gosh.
Just
And they
keep
can't even
working.
look. They just have to keep working, yeah. Making the best of what she has.
Yeah.
We dance tonight. Get up. Get your fiddle playing. Get up.
In the middle of the night?
What the heck? Come on.
They're exhausted.
Yeah, right.
Working in the
out
fields
there.
all day long, getting whipped.
Yeah, see?
My God, just work until they die.
It's so horrible.
Gross. Look at him.
You're
He's like really
sicko.
enjoying it.
She's pissed.
Oh!
Why is he? Oh, because he's looking at her. That's why.
This is a list of goods and sundries. You will take it to be filled and return immediately.
It's almost like
try
they're
running.
giving him
Yes,
an opportunity to do something wrong.
He's gonna try it.
Good excuse. Good excuse. You're gonna be in. Oh, they're watching you.
And trap.
Oh,
There they are.
Yeah, there they are. Yeah.
Oh no,
What are
they
they
see
doing?
him.
Oh, they're gonna hurt him again?
Yeah, boy.
On my way to bust all of this.
You best get there then.
Oh my God. Oh, what the heck? Oh, God.
They must have been trying to run.
Can I speak of what did not occur?
Oh, don't go after him.
You come here.
He's got a freaking knife.
Oh,
Wait, what does he have? Is that a knife?
got it. Just as
Or something.
You dreamed this. It didn't happen. No, he's pretty agile.
Oh, in the pig pen!
oh, because that's where he belongs.
Yeah.
I'll be Master Two's feet.
Oh, God.
You don't have a choice, right?
I know. He's gonna grab him. Beat the crap out of him.
Oh, no.
It's like he knows it's coming.
Are we gonna go get her?
Oh, this poor girl.
Come on, please. Come on.
Ooh,
Yeah,
just
you're
raping
sick.
her and she can't even do anything. She
Oh,
just has to be
poor
She can't say a
thing.
word.
dead to the world.
So
Not even
sick
looking at him.
you're
Good.
saying,
Don't
good.
look at him. Don't you
Yeah.
dare look at him.
Did he?
Ooh. Ooh.
What's he doing? Is he trying to kill her? Can you imagine if she got pregnant after that?
That happened too, I'm sure. Did happen.
Leave her alone.
Don't hurt her. You just
come
scratched
on.
her. Oh, the poor
Oh,
baby.
jeez.
This poor
Poor
baby.
thing. Boy, come on.
Oh, her eye. I thought it was.
Oh,
What
what they
the
do?
heck?
Punch her?
Oh my gosh.
Let's go find something sweet for you.
Did a lot of time go
I
by? Is
don't
that
trust
like
him, huh?
their child or something?
I just don't trust
Where's
him.
the
with
I mean,
that.
that's a long time. That's many
Oh,
years.
yeah.
Where is she? Where's Pat? Where is she? What you standing there for?
She probably killed herself.
Oh, leave her alone. Poor thing.
Strike her bare and lash her to the post.
Oh my God.
Oh, come on. This is horrible.
You're gonna kill her.
Do it.
Do it. Oh God.
Give her the whip. Give it all to her.
No.
Oh, no, don't leave it to him.
You come here and you be here now.
Can't do it.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Baby.
come
He's gonna say
Oh,
something
my
hard.
God.
Keep moving.
Oh, my God. This baby.
Oh, God, this is horrible. Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
God.
Oh, she's never going to recover. You never stop.
Oh, my God. What the hell is that?
Oh
my God. Oh, God.
Oh, that is so...
Come here, boy.
Oh, crap. Is either good or bad?
You just never know, right? Can't trust anyone.
On your life, you answer me truthfully. Have you any other name than Platt?
Solomon Northup is my name. You come back here, boy.
Punch him.
You will unhand him. That is my nigga. Pay him no mind.
You get him like a freaking it.
Courthouse got papers to
Oh,
prove it. And we
you're
got
nothing.
papers
Get
to
away.
prove it.
Oh,
He's
get
free.
him.
I own you.
I wish you could just be like, take him home.
Jump in the wagon.
Take everyone with you.
Take him. Oh.
The poor thing, she's a state. It's like, how are they doing? Are they, I mean...
Yeah, the kids are
probably
probably young
healthy
adults now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. They have a little baby.
I apologize.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my goodness. Who could help?
Solomon Northup Stone.
Solomon.
Oh. Brown also avoided avoided prosecution.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
Huh.
Oh.
The music is so beautiful.
Yeah, wow. At least he got back home to his family, but still,
my God,
those poor slaves. They're
to be abducted like that,
yeah,
and to be sold, and to be enslaved for 12 years, and to live through it.
Wow.
Can't even comprehend. Like, it's one thing watching it, and I love how they make movies about history, and you try to be as accurate as possible. And I know there's a lot of facts that are very true here and based on a true story and with his life.
That's right, yeah.
And but like just seeing it as a movie, like you're pulled in even more. It's more than just reading a book and just hearing what people have to say. Like you're reliving. I mean,
so
God, like,
horrible.
even to say that, there's like no comparison.
Yeah,
and what they went through.
Yeah, nobody should own anybody.
Oh.
That's right. Horrible, nobody is anyone's property.
That's right.
That's
horrible.
The acting was so good in this, and the acting was so good that you just felt that they were actually those people, and you just hated them, and like even
right.
Magneto.
I feel like socking a few.
He was a monster inside. Now, even his wife so really. Sick.
I was kind of hoping because. It's not even the right word to say, but I was just saying no one's perfect, but like she was horrible, and I was kind of hoping that because of her lifestyle and how bad she was with the slaves there, like I was hoping with her husband being really bad to her that she would kind of be like, wow, it's like I'm a slave too, and then she was going to help them out.
Yes,
and try to do something kind.
Yeah.
It still doesn't make it right what she was doing. Like to throw a glass at Patsy like that was so horrible.
And she just wanted to hurt her so bad because she knew that.
And it was out of her control.
He was using her to, he was abusing her. He was raping her, and the wife knew that. And she figured if she hurt Patsy, it would be hurting him.
Yeah,
right, you can tell that he was
to think that way,
crazily in love or just obsessed with her.
And I'm trying to see it in that.
He could rape her whenever he wanted.
He was obsessed with her.
Yeah.
He was.
That is not love.
And the acting was just so impressive because I really felt it, and it felt like we were in those moments.
Yes,
and
definitely.
The filming was great because even just the sounds, the music again was beautiful, like the calmness of it, and you just feel trapped, and it's almost beautiful too.
I feel bad for him.
I know, and then again, like the acting was just so incredible. I mean, Chiwetel was just amazing, and you just felt trapped with them.
You did. And to go from having Ford be his slaver, he was pretty nice as far as being a slaver. And then when he went to, he saved his life. He saved Platt's life. So he had to let him go. He had to give him to somebody, and nobody wanted him.
Yeah.
Because he talked for himself. He was very intelligent. He was very thoughtful. He was, and the engineering, that other master who was like belittling him because Platt was so much smarter than him. And he just figured, I can degrade you. I have weapons. I'm a master. I can do whatever I want to you.
Yeah.
So I'm above you. And that's not the case at all. He was quite intelligent.
No matter what, it's like you just feel like you're in a deep hole and it's just you're drowning. I don't know, like getting drowned by these white people. And I mean, like, it's terrible what they did down south back then. And just say, like, you have these wonderful people, like they're human beings, and you just you degrade them like beyond equal. I mean, just
because of their color.
Just because of the color. And this guy's way more intelligent than you. I shouldn't even have to compare that because they're human. But like, and he was always wrong. And he's like, no, if we do things this way. And I really thought that, I keep calling him the Weasley guy, but I really thought he was going to have a bigger role and come back because he was so cowardly when he was yelling and saying like, this is my right and blah, blah, blah. And, I thought he was going to make a comeback later on and really do something. But I'm like, well, you can't because it's property. So you can't damage someone else's property, which is sickening to even think that way. And we know the histories, but like, we don't know to like extreme details besides what we've read, what we've watched on the channel. And it's still very shocking. And when you think things can't get any worse, it does. And to what end?
That's right.
Yeah, really and you can read it in the history books all you want, but to see it in a movie like this, to show people pulling families away. Okay, you're going to take me as a slave. You're going to take my children as slaves. You're going to separate me now?
Yeah.
And Ford was like, he didn't want to do that.
No, he didn't.
But they're like, no, that's the lot. She's a separate lot than her kids. That's heartbreaking. And then when Platt goes to Ebbs to be his slave, he was a monster inside and out. Definitely. And to making, the slaves get up and dance in the middle of the night just for his
have to work the next day.
And you could be injured, killed at any moment. You could be raped. It's like you're just property. You're meaningless.
Right.
Like, I felt terrified watching this the whole time. Like, I kept putting myself into these characters' shoes going like, holy crap. God. Like, I was always scared. Kim, you commented saying like, I'm scared. I'm fearful every time
I see a white person. Because that was the truth.
How it was. And
that is, yeah.
I mean, you had some people who does not make it right, but who like for in the beginning that care kind of like they want to be kind of humane, but they're still following the laws and actually having slaves. So like you're still a terrible person for doing that.
That's right.
And but then you have like even worse people that like just go beyond being monstrous. And I felt so bad for Patsy. Like just she was her story. Like she wanted a mercy killing, and
she wanted her good friend Solomon. I mean, we all knew Solomon, but he had to be Platt for them.
Platt, yes.
But she was just begging him, please just give me a merciful kill. I want to die.
That's horrible.
I can't do it on my own.
I mean, it's kind of rhetorical to ask, but like, how did you feel in that moment? Because I remember you guys commenting saying like, don't ask him to do something like that. That's awful. Like and I said something like, he'll never come back from that. Like you're asking someone to kill their friend. I mean, you're in the same situation, and you're like the only family right now that you guys know and have, and you're asking almost to kill a sister, you know?
Yes.
But like, how did you feel like in that moment? Did you feel like it was justified that he should really listen?
I really felt for her. I knew he wasn't going to do it. I mean, he
just couldn't do that.
He knew how the owner really he loved having her, not loved her, but he really loved obsessing with her. So I don't think he I don't think he would have done it, and he didn't. But I mean, I at that moment didn't think he was going to do it. But it makes sense to think about it. Well, yeah. She's going to be abused either by the wife's doing to make her husband hurt her. I mean, she's so weak and she's so tiny. I mean, but she's the most productive cotton picker there.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So that makes her even more valuable to them. But to just mentally abuse her, I don't blame her one bit for begging her to do it to have someone that she totally trusts.
Yes.
Do it.
She was just so desperate. She was
even when she was going to be whipped. And when Ebbs gave him the whip, she's like, yes, you do it.
Yeah, she'd rather have him do it.
She wants anyone to abuse her other than her master.
Yes.
Yeah, because maybe she even thought that he would take more care, which he did. Like, he didn't want to hit her that hard.
Yes.
But yeah, like, she's just done. Like, she's been so, like, her life is ruined, and she's been tortured so much by this guy, you know? And I hated that, too. And it really just, I remember Mom crying during that part when she was asking for a merciful death. And I was just like, yeah, because we already saw all the bad that she's been through. I mean, some of it, like, I know there's a lot more. Just to correct, too, because sometimes we get comments saying that I laugh when bad things happen. But
sometimes you get nervous. I have a nervous laugh.
So a lot of you guys who know us know I'm not laughing in enjoyment of people dying. Because that kind of shocked me that someone would even think that. I understand where she's coming from, because as devastating as that is, I'm like, no. I'm like, you got to have hope. But like, it's easier to say because even though we're watching it, we've never been in a situation like that,
definitely
a nightmare like that. And then afterwards, it gets way worse for her, and she is almost whipped to death. You know, and I thought she was going to die.
I was surprised she actually lived through it.
I thought she died at the end there, because how could she tolerate all that beating?
I know. And she was always crying and in so much pain, and even like getting clawed in the face, because like I've never seen that before. Like, I've heard about women doing that sometimes. I'm not always women, but actually seeing how terrible, like, you can actually really hurt someone trying to scratch them with your fingers. And yeah, so her like getting whipped to death like that, I thought she died there, and I'm like, holy crap, like, I really wished now that Solomon was able to give her a mercy killing in the water.
Right.
Almost,
because now she's left there, you know, when he left.
Yeah, because she was talking like religiously to him, and she's like, God's forgiving, like, he'll forgive you for doing something so merciful. And her getting dipped underwater, getting drowned, even though that's a bad death too, getting drowned, like any kind of death, but that's like a slower death, I would think. But in her mind, it would be peaceful, because it's not like getting baptized, but in the water, you just think religiously and like and heavenly almost, you know, or I don't know. But I think that would have been better if she did die with the whipping. But that was bad. And then the soap, when she dropped the soap, like, that's all she wanted.
That's all she wanted.
Truth, you know, she just wanted the freaking soap.
And to hear other slaves, what they went through, what he heard them go through, like that woman who, in the beginning, when she was sold with them, with the 2 kids.
Oh, that was so sad.
She said that her owner, she actually had a relationship with him, right? And then when he died, the daughter, his biological daughter, with another, well, probably the mom, she took over the plantation and got rid of her and the kids. So I guess her daughter that she had with her was the owner's daughter as well. They're mutual. So they just kicked her out. So she went from riches to, you know, having slaves herself to being one.
Yeah.
And then when you see the man die picking cotton, I mean, the strong.
That's right.
They even have like black people like torturing other black people. Like,
that's right. That's really, come on.
It's just terrible. I'm like, holy crap!
And
like the whites like in this don't do any labor at all. They're like, we're going to torture each other now. You know, it's just insane. And in the beginning, they were also saying like Solomon, like the 2 guys next to him were talking about how you have people like us. You know, you're, I guess, educated and you're successful. You're equal to a certain extent, which is really sad to even say that too. But then you have people who are born into slavery. That's all they know, and they don't have a backbone. They don't know how to fight back. Like, this is what they're like, a loyal pet or something.
Yes.
You know, they can't.
You know,
that's all they know. That's all they know.
They could have been enslaved at 10 years old, and that, of course, that's all they know. They, you know, like that young boy and the little girl that was taken from their mom. He started that young, and that's all they know.
Yeah,
And
that's
they're just so numbed that they just do whatever they have to.
They never saw anything else.
Generation and generation.
I mean, we kept saying a lot of the same things throughout the movie, but I totally get it because we were quiet mostly. Like, we were amazingly quiet and so alert in this movie because I think we were all terrified just, like, living in these characters and being like,
how could you treat another human being? I can't understand why people treat another human being like this.
I know. Yeah, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And to actually, like, I mean, I tried to see why people can even think that way because in our history, that's why it's so important to know our histories and really learn from it because it's so easy to, and this is devastating to say, but it's so easy to forget and relive it. Like, people just all of a sudden do a pattern of doing something slightly different, but it has the same consequences. And, you know, it's so important to really understand our histories and, you know, like white supremacists and stuff. Like, it's just terrible to actually believe it's okay and that other people are property. It's like,
and to see even these graves of slaves being on plantations, like to present day. I know a friend of mine who went down to Mississippi and he traced his great grandfather, I believe, into it. It was a cemetery just for slaves.
Oh wow!
I mean, it's so powerful to remember these moments in history that are so terrible.
Yeah,
and it's quite very embarrassing.
Yeah,
it should
know
be
that was.
Yeah.
That was what it was like.
And,
you know?
Yeah, and whites even growing up in that, like, that's what they were used to, and we're like, okay, well, they are our property, and it's absolutely, like, it still shocks me, but I try to see, like, what people were thinking in that time, and it's easier for us to see now, looking back, but at the time, I'm like, just, even, like, Nazis and stuff, you know, how they thought the Jews were just garbage and they would just kill them.
Come
and
on,
people,
we're all human beings.
would just
equal.
like walk by like it was nothing and like, oh, haha, the Jews are getting tortured. Like, it was just part of the norm.
Yep.
And people worshipped Hitler and stuff. Like, you have these like terrible people who make this alternate reality that is very imbalanced and evil. It's just evil. And so this was a very good movie. So I love how it was filmed because it really brought us into the realism of it, right? Like, I really felt like I was there.
That's right,
and even the quiet, awkward scenes of him having sex with that woman in the beginning, like right away were thrown in.
Right.
And I thought that was a very important scene too, because we're seeing like, this is how they live. Like, this is what they have left. Like, this is the only human thing that they can connect with at this point. And then the woman's crying afterwards. There's, like, no true interaction besides looking at each other, doing the deed, and then that's it. And they're
just
both
some
so
kind
hurt
of
about
human
it.
touch.
Yeah,
that's
just
right.
to feel not like garbage or, like, property and just to feel.
And they take your dignity all away.
Yeah, just taking showers
horrible,
naked
you know,
and just
yes,
slapping them,
thinking,
like, when
my
they're
God.
selling them. Like, it's
Come
just
on,
awful.
You know?
Yeah, so you just really felt it all the way through. And the part going back to the cemetery scene, when you have it all like fenced in for the slaves, and they're all singing a prayer.
Yes.
And then Solomon caves and starts to sing with them.
That's right.
They're all strong in their own way, but he was a free person. And then to start singing and start to break down there, that was powerful to see that he was accepting it's been too long. This is who I am now. I'm not going to be that other person. I am this other guy that I'm a slave and I'm not going to get out of this.
I agree.
I'm so happy
I think it was too. I think it was a moment of, it was a pivotal moment. And then when he broke his violin, he's like, that's not me anymore. That's the past.
Right.
Yeah. And to even be able to play an instrument, I mean, yes, you could probably just use your ears and learn that way, but I would think immediately someone would be like, oh, he should be able to read. He should be able to look at, like...
That's why Ed's wife was asking him, are you sure? You know,
like,
don't
not just
say
by
anything
ear.
to anyone.
You know, a lot of people, too, have talent, natural talent, where they don't need to be educated, you know, going to college or something, and could just learn it on their own. So maybe he could have done that, and I was just amazed that a lot of people didn't catch on to that right away. Like, oh, I can play the fiddle. This is great.
A few people caught on, but they said, you know,
let it go.
Don't say a word.
Yeah.
That's right.
I thought she was going to be his opening. I thought she was going to be his window to
I hope so too.
I thought
the
so
north,
too, you know.
because when she was asking him to go to the market and go to the store, I thought that was going to be his window, and they kept showing the scroll.
Me too.
And I said, I'm wondering if she's allowing him to do something.
I thought so too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then jokingly talking about Mariah's character from Luke Cage, but seeing her like at the other plantation and stuff, I kept thinking that the more he traveled and he was allowed to travel, he was going to start like finding ways to message people, and I thought that was going to be a whole pattern throughout the movie.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
Right. And she was still a slave. She was just his
like higher up
mistress.
Like, yes.
Like she was.
Yes, it was.
So she was allowed to be. Yeah. She goes, I'd much rather do this.
Yeah,
and I know it's obvious, but thinking about the people picking cotton, and you have to, not only are you working hard and your hygiene's terrible, like you're not being cared for, no one cares about you.
Don't care.
And then you have to get weighed in at the end. And if you can't, like, and once you do a certain amount, like, okay, you should be able to do, 200 pounds, right? And that's just, like, across the board. And some people are doing less, some a little bit more, so I don't know if they're even dividing up the men and women. But she was able to bring in 500 pounds, which is insane, right?
Yeah.
So she's working herself to death probably. I mean, she's a hard worker, but like that's over double the amount, you know?
Than any man.
And then you can't go under that. So the more you do, okay, great for that day, and then the next day you have to do it again. You have to keep
and if you do 10 pounds under or whatever, you get whipped. Like
that.
A ratio of how many times you get whipped.
Horrible.
I wonder.
And seeing perspective again with the white guy, with the drunk guy who was now working in the fields as well, and he was just like, okay, well, you got to do better if you're going to work hard. And then the other two had to get beaten, so they were just like pulled right out to get beaten and tortured. And yet he was just scolded for, okay, you got to learn, you have to do hard labor. But I love how they showed that to show you how bad it was. Like there's just too much hate. And it's so important to know your own facts. It's just really sad. So I love Brad Pitt's character. He did he was one of the producers or something. So I'm like, yeah, you're good. But he is a great actor, and I know he's probably played some bad roles too. Cumberbatch, I really enjoyed his character. I mean, I hated what he was doing, but I'm glad that he was a good character, like a good
He was
person.
more civil.
He was more civil. Yes, he still had slaves, so it's still kind of like...
Yes, there's still help. Yeah, he was treating him as help, not property. Like Ebbs was atrocious.
Oh,
he was just a
disgusting.
Monster.
Awful.
Just disgusting.
And you can just tell when he was whipping Patsy, it was like he was taking it out, the aggression on himself.
Yeah.
Like he was just when he took the whip from Platt, he was just like whipping her. But I don't think he really was doing it. He was definitely doing it at her, but I think he was just so mad at him. The inside, I don't think about himself, but like everything, he's just such a monster. And to do that, he just took it out.
Yes. But also when he was having sex with her, she wasn't showing any.
No,
and I thought he killed her there.
And
I thought he was strangling her, like, you look at me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did not want to look
and then
at him.
Afterwards, I agree there. And that was an awkward scene too, but it's showing like things like this happen probably a lot. And she's so removed, like that's the way you survive. Like if you don't get physically hurt, like you do, but you're mentally messed up now too.
That's right.
So she just had to remove herself from the situation. He got so mad. I thought he killed her. Like I thought he got too into it and like was strangling her and she died.
You're not
but
pretending to go along with it.
And you could see his face, like he was like shocked, and I think he knew he was a monster after that when she wouldn't look at him or respond.
Yes, I think so.
I think he felt
anger first.
like he was disgusted of himself.
Yeah. And even though he's obsessed, I wouldn't call it love by any means.
No,
but
definitely not.
He did have a certain thing for her, and when the whipping happened, that's why he called Solomon over, because he couldn't do it. He was still struggling. He couldn't do it himself because it was his best property. Maybe he just saw it as that. I don't know, but I took it as like he did have some feelings there, but he didn't care for her safety though, because like when his wife threw that glass at her and she was crying, like he couldn't react. I know he's probably putting on a show for her too, because he can't show that he cares, but he didn't care for him to actually chase her
and for her not to even have soap, like you know,
because their property, he doesn't want to spend money on that. Like, it's just terrible.
Oh,
but when he didn't whip her at first and then afterwards, I agree with you, Kim. Like, I think he had so much hate and anger built up, and it could be because he hated himself. But I think, not that you said that, you were saying that it was probably not because he hated himself, but I think it was a pride thing, too, that he feels weak because he couldn't whip her to begin with, that he felt weakness and he showed it in front of his wife, and he is so strictly powered that he just hated the fact that Patsy could do that to him, so he just took it out on her. What great acting. Like, she was amazing. I love her in Black Panther. Oh my God. Like, a lot of people we recognized in this, and I have to really
she was an amazing actress.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she couldn't do what the other slave was doing with the other who gave her the soap, Mariah's character. I don't know who she.
I know we keep calling her Mariah.
Yeah. The other owner's mistress or whatever.
Yeah.
She was like, just play along and look what you can, but she couldn't. She
couldn't do that. No,
herself.
No.
Yeah.
And the wife is there, so she's not going to let her sit on the porch drinking tea with her either.
Right? See, and I love hearing these different perspectives too, because here, like, oh, well, you're going to be in this lifestyle forever, so you got to just make it work in any way you can. So that's how her character made it work, where she was able to get out of the fields and be a mistress. So you still don't have control over your life, but you try to control what you can and to have a better life. So even hearing that, like, you still feel caged, and it's so freaking sad. Like I kept thinking, okay, well, you know, like Solomon, never going to see your kids again. That's your state of mind. Like, you don't think you have hope that you'll see them again, but how are you going to get out of that situation? You're not going to see your family. Anyone in slavery, like, you can't marry who you want. You're going to get freaking raped. You're going to get tortured. No one's going to know about you. Like, they're just going to belittle you.
You just have to play the game. And when he was playing the violin for those different, other owners and whatever, and getting his own money to keep for himself, he was trying to make the best out of the situation. But when at the end of the day, you wind up hating these white people even more because you have to play the game. Like, even when they were right off the bat being slaves and they had to clap for the masters. And then
they sang a racist song on top of that.
And then that was despicable.
But
to really make them know they're
like totally, they're hating them even more and making them be like puppets. Like, oh yeah,
they're trying to make them dead inside, so that way they'll cooperate more and just be, just listen and not have any issues there. So it's shocking. Like, you know that, but it's shocking to actually see it. So I love how this movie was done, because it really just pulls you in and you really feel what it's trying to express. Like, you really feel it, and it's just insane and devastating.
But he's home.
How many words?
He's
I was
home
happy
now.
about that.
That's right.
And he's got a grandson named after him.
Yes.
Oh, that was great. Oh.
That was such a moving scene. And one thing I was really relieved about, but I would totally understand if she did remarry. I'm happy that his wife didn't remarry. Because she didn't know where he was. She might have thought he died somehow and no one just knows. Maybe she had an inkling that it was slavery, that he was kidnapped.
Maybe they found out from those two characters, Hamilton and the other guy, that they were abducting people to become slaves and selling them.
Maybe. Because then I'd be like, if that was me, I'd be, well, not that I'd be like, I'm going to remarry, my husband's gone, and not like that. But I would totally, like, I don't think I would ever remarry at that point. Like, knowing that he was sold to slavery, like, he's still out there. I just have hope that I'd see him again.
Yeah.
But I was kind of thinking, like, maybe she just thought he was dead at this point. 12 years, and I was like, he's going to see a husband, and I was going to start sobbing. But I'm really happy he was able.
Way.
Me too. I was really happy he could see his family again, and just and awe and just relief.
Yes, and they were all in the same house. And
seeing the grandson named after him, that was like really sweet. That was very sweet. What a movie.
It was great to see when his boss from the past came and just said, no.
It took me a moment because I'm like, I don't remember who that is.
You're done. Get away from us.
Yes,
right. Like, you have no idea who this guy is.
I'm so happy that worked out. Like, that was like relief and like a good moment, as sad and tragic as it was, because like Solomon's life was messed up. It was completely ruined by this. And those two guys in the beginning that conned him. I mean, that was totally con. Like, even him, he was naive. I'd be naive, I guess, too. And he thought that they were musicians, right? Just trying to help him out.
I think they were like promoters of the circus.
Yeah.
That's right, yes.
And thought it was a great idea, and he made good money, but he paid for it.
And it shows you how naive he was too, because he just believed that it wasn't them. They were the only two people he was with when he woke up. I mean, that's like the obvious. I mean, like not saying that it could definitely be them, but it was, you know.
He just didn't want to believe it wasn't them. So, you know.
Yeah. And then drinking that, and the one guy, like he.
Yeah,
actually,
you had a good thought. I saw his eyes shift.
Yeah.
Like, is he gonna drink it? But I didn't realize that he didn't drink the first.
Oh, I didn't either.
So racism is still a really bad thing. Absolutely. It's really sad. And in a perfect world, I would really hope that all of us can get together and just like, you know, I mean, we have a lot of friends that, you know, we don't even think about racism at all. Like, we don't even see that. But then you have someone who has to, once in a while, who has to call it out, no matter what color you are. And it's like they have to divide,
That's
you know.
right.
But in this time, it was way worse. I can't really compare, but just knowing the slavery part of it and stuff, and how a lot of people are brainwashed to know that this is okay and this is how the world works.
Right, because that was the law. That was how it was written.
Yeah. So my rant goes to the fact that these two white guys go up to a successful black guy. And you don't see that a lot, right? And immediately I'm like, they're going to try to sabotage him in some way. They're going to try to, like, test them to see, like, how smart he is. And, you know, so right away I just had that red flag where I'm like, I don't trust these guys. What are they doing? And then I started to let my guard down kind of at dinner. I'm like, okay, well, they're being chummy. They're laughing together. And it seems like this might be a good thing. But we know the title of the movie is 12 Years a Slave. We saw that he was a slave in the beginning. And so we're having these time jumps. So I'm like, okay, well, this wasn't before. I think it was after this. Which made it, I don't want to say worse, but he had a family, you know. But then when they were drinking, he didn't drink his drink at first, and he put it back down, and then he was staring at him. And I'm like, wow, very
and
good.
And he wrote a book about it. I'd love to read it.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to now, too.
I
need to make time because there's so many books I want to read, and it's like I just never make time because I'm always full on in this channel and editing all the time. But yeah, so very good movie, guys. Please let us know what you thought of this.
Excellent.
I think this was very important for us to watch. And please, guys, if you're watching the 10-minute version and haven't seen the full movie, I would definitely watch it. We have a full reaction as well on our Patreon. So we were very quiet and crying a lot.
Oh, yeah. Thumbs up. Totally thumbs up.
And again, laughing doesn't mean I'm enjoying it. That's like my nervous relief.
I get nervous like that. I get a nervous laugh.
Yeah. But I love it. And the acting was great. And great job.
It was.
It was
fantastic. Very, very moving.
So thank you so much for watching, guys. And we'll see you very soon, as always. Please subscribe.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hugs, guys. Hugs.
Hugs.
Love.
Yeah.
Peace.